I'm Travis Drago, and this is the way it is, guys. Recently, I've been a part of the wrestling business now for 8 years, 7 or 8 years, since I was 16. I got my start in the old here in Newfoundland. Flag. There's a company called CEW, and it's been the company that I've been with since day one. I started my career there. I got my first break thanks to the Bennett brothers and Style and Steve Jackson, who was the ring announcer there at the time. I wanted to get in there, pay my dues, work my way up the ladder from putting up posters to ring announcing to putting up chairs to ring announcer, to commentator, manager, and hopefully someday wrestler. Um, I've been with I've been with three different promotions actually. I've been with CEW and CW, which was at the time, which was the two combining forces in Newfoundland Wrestling at the time, which was Cutting Edge Wrestling and Newfoundland Championship Wrestling. Then after that went defunct and left, um, went under for obvious reasons. I'm not going to get into them at the time. I started working for Mainstream Wrestling Entertainment, which is a promotion in Halifax, Nova Scotia, run by X-Ray Kyle Cruz. And then after that, when CEW got started up again, I've now been with them. I'm 23 now, and that was when I was 16. So obviously, it's been a lot of years that I've been into this. Being a student of the game, just learning. Recently, there's been I came across a wrestler by the name of Devon Nicholson, who is known on the Canadian wrestling circuit as Hannibal. Recently, he was 29 years old at the time, and recently he'd been trying time and time and time again to get to the WWE. He had a great look, great charisma, great showing in the ring, and Tommy Dreamer from ECW was actually the one who said to the guys' hierarchy for talent relations, says, "Guys, you got to keep a close look on this guy because he's got something." And Tommy Dreamer's reputation spoke for itself, and anyway, finally he got the letter from the WWE stating that you got a contract. Would you like to take it? And of course he's like 29 years old, which is not older, and obviously the WWE is looking for guys in the early 20s, even in TNA now. He's like, sure, I'll take it. I gotta take it. This guy sacrificed everything. He sacrificed 3 different college, university scholarships for wrestling. His parents were pissed off about that, which 95% of the time, they would be. And he wanted to be a professional wrestler. That's what he did. Then finally, he went to get the doctor checked, to get his blood checked and everything else. Turned out that he got infected with hepatitis C, which is potentially deadly disease, and not only deadly, it's deadly to your careers also. So, doing the research and everything like that, I found out that he says, well, how the hell could I have gotten this? Because after he got contracted with this, the WWE said, you're out of the roster. We're taking away your contract, which I found to be garbage. Because WWE has a no bleed scenario, or no bleed clause, or whatever it is you want to call it, stating that no wrestler is allowed to bleed, no allowed to get color, as we call it in the business. And he said, well, he's thinking, how the heck did I got this? Found out there's a wrestler in Canada, a legendary wrestler, and I use that term very, very loosely. He's 71 years old, fat, out of shape. Abdullah the Butcher is his name. Turns out that he's had hepatitis C all the time, and he's had about 5 or 6 or dozens of matches with Hannibal, and he's got the blade in his thumb, and he's sticking himself and also sticking Hannibal. Abdullah the Butcher has... I don't want to say anything bad about Abdullah the Butcher because, quite frankly, I don't know the guy personally. But the fact is, I think now this is just me as a independent wrestling commentator and announcer. My personal opinion is that this is to all the independent promoters out there, if there is a scenario where you have your wrestlers getting color, then both of those wrestlers need to have a medical checkup. They need to have papers stating that they don't have HIV, that they don't have AIDS, that they don't have, hepatitis C, that they don't have anything like this, because the safety of your competitors. The safety of your wrestlers and your referees and your announcers are the top priority for any Newfoundland wrestling promotion, whether it be in the WWE, whether it be over in Japan, Puerto Rico, the United States, anywhere. Because Abdullah the Butcher has had hepatitis C now for years, and the fact that he would not surrender his papers over to this independent promotion, and it cost Hannibal not only his chance of ever getting to the WWE, it cost him his career in general. Hannibal had his last match in 2009, and now he's retired. A young guy in his prime, had great future ahead of him, and now he cannot wrestle anymore because of this type of thing. Guys, this is something that needs to happen, quite frankly, all over. It doesn't matter how high or how low the promotion. If there is any chance that there could be an infection of any kind being spread around, bacterial infection or blood infection, there needs to be a checkup. There needs to be papers shown if there is a spot where you're going to bleed. That's what needs to happen, and it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Otherwise, more wrestlers like Hannibal are going to lose their jobs, going to lose their careers, and going to lose their dreams. I'm Travis Drago. That name's gone. I'm Travis Von Beersford, and that's the way it is.